Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output, and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
We're in Wave Media. Welcome back, Midnight viewers, to Father Malone's weekly Roundup. I am Father Malone, but the booth is empty this weekend. Ripley Jean has chosen not to record this bumper in protest of not being allowed to accompany me to the movie theater. I would have taken her. I definitely could have snuck her in, but she was insistent we use the trenchcoat method, where she sat on my shoulders and wore a tiny fedora and acted as the head of some misbegotten creature from beyond space. It's going to be a little different this week. I swear we'll get back into the swing of things starting Friday. Friday is the return of Fusco Fest. HP, the host of Night Mr. Walters, is joining me to discuss the films of screenwriter John Fusco. We've already covered Crossroads, Young Guns, and Young Guns 2, and those are available for your listening pleasure right now. But Friday is Thunderheart. That is the FBI Native American thriller starring the late, great Val Kilmer. This episode is a crossover with the Projection Booth and Kulturecast podcasts, and those hosts just so happen to be co-hosts on Midnight Viewing. What a grand incestuous stew. Today we are covering Thunderbolts Asterisk, the first in the latest phase of Marvel films. This is Phase 5. Are you excited? Yeah? Well, calm your liver. Go watch Daredevil. Mike White from the Projection Booth is running the show on this episode, and we are going to start right after the trailer for Thunderbolts. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you next Sunday with an all-new weekly roundup.
Elena, being a hero, there is no higher calling. Your sister understood something about that.
I should have come back for you.
No. That's just a fairy tale.
I was in high school when the Avengers came. Kind of strange that it's all over now. No one's coming to save the day.
I think we are. We can be the ones that are coming.
Buck, you have the wrong people. We have all done bad things.
Look, I've been where you are. The past doesn't go away. So you can either live with it forever, or you can do something about it.
I am a void. Look what you unleashed. You can't outrun the emptiness.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
We all have things that we regret.
But I have so many.
right now. When I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
We can't stop him alone. No one can. But we can find a way. Together.
Marvel Studios Thunderbolts.
Welcome to a special episode of the Projection Booth, Kulturecast, Midnight Viewing, all that stuff. I'm your host, Mike Boyd. Joining me once again is Mr. Chris Stachiw.
That asterisk better mean something by the end of this movie.
Oh boy. Also joining us is Father Malone.
That asterisk is meaningless, much like the rest of this movie.
Oh no! Wah, 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 wah.
On this special episode, we are diving into the electrifying world of Thunderbolts Asterisk. We are going to dissect Marvel's unconventional team of anti-heroes and misfits, exploring how this film crashes into the MCU lineup. We are going to get into the film's themes of redemption, betrayal, and blurred moral lines. Yes, we're going to be spoiling things, but hoping to keep that for a little later in the discussion. I mean, I really couldn't believe that Bucky dies. That's really terrible. Oh, sorry. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Right out of the gate. Oh, wow. Fuck. Yeah.
It's almost like the people who made this movie spoiled parts of the movie ahead of time. Almost.
Almost, yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention, so that's kind of a nice thing.
Well,
so, Chris.
Lucky you.
Chris, what did you think of Marvel's Thunderbolts Asterisk?
So, if you could see me right now, which you can't, everyone who's listening but Father Malone and Mike, I currently have my hair in cornrows because I was on vacation for a week on a Disney cruise. If you go on a Disney cruise around the time a movie premieres, you might get to see it on the boat. That is, in fact, what happened last week. I got to see the Thunderbolts essentially 10:45 on Thursday night, the night before it came out. So it came out Friday at 12. I saw it essentially when it premiered. There was a little even snippet. David Harbour was like, "Hey, everybody on the Disney Cruise Line, this is the Thunderbolts premiere." It's like, all right, wow. Like, I'll tell you, the other thing I watched on the cruise line was Snow White 2025, which, my God.
That movie is fucking baffling.
That movie is an affront to a lot of things. Remaking Snow White, sure, but wow, lots of choices being made. Speaking of choices being made, I got to see Thunderbolts. Like I said, essentially within 24 hours of you guys getting to see it. I enjoyed it. I think it has its issues. And boy, there are some things where I'm like, I set my clock to it and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And here's the thing. And some of it was like, all right, cool. We knew it was coming. Some of it was like, we didn't know it was coming, I guess. So Marvel did a better job, in my opinion, promoting this movie than they did with, say, the movie that had Red Hulk in it for 9 minutes. When they promoted it for like 100% of the promotional material was the Red Hulk of it all. I think it's fun. I love Florence Pugh, so I'm probably a little biased in terms of my ability to enjoy this movie. I was already at a little bit of a, I don't know, you've got me in the door with Florence Pugh, you've got me in the door with David Harbour. So I already enjoy most everything that they're in. So this was going to be something I was going to watch anyways, but I was actually somewhat excited to watch this movie. All of that to say, it has its problems. I think it's better than Captain America, Brave New World. Maybe that might be controversial. Father Malone and I may have some back and forth. I don't know, because we didn't really get to talk to Father Malone about Captain America. And there will be only one more opportunity this year for us to talk about Marvel things with the upcoming Fantastic Four movie. So this, I feel like, is a pretty big movie this year. And I think that if you're going into it hoping it's a big movie and it lives up to what it kind of is advertising itself as, a Marvel Suicide Squad, I think, for the most part, it checks the boxes. It has its problems, but I enjoyed it, I think, a little bit more than I've enjoyed the last Captain America movie. And I've rewatched Deadpool Wolverine several times since I saw it last year. And that movie does not hold up really well the next couple. It's a cameo. It's like a couple scenes is what Deadpool Wolverine is for me. It's like 4 scenes, and pretty much everything else is like just whatever. We've seen this before, or the addition of Wolverine made it a lesser movie. So in terms of my enjoyment, I enjoyed this more than the last couple Marvel things I've seen. But I'm really curious what y'all thought, because y'all saw it in like theaters, I'm assuming, with lots of, I mean, I saw it with lots of people. People were reacting to this movie in a way that I hadn't seen in theaters in a while. People were clapping and really excited. And I appreciated that more than anything else, that people were like engaging with the movie, which felt, I don't know, refreshing in a way. Like, I actually felt like I could sit and watch this movie and people were sitting around me and laughing and enjoying it and having a good time. So maybe the bar was relatively low. I feel like that's part of it. So Father Malone, I am so curious, because you've been looking down a lot, looking down a whole lot. What did you think of Thunderbolts Asterisk?
Wasted opportunity is what I would say. This is the one I was really, really looking forward to from the MCU, from everything that got announced in the previous phase, which this is this phase 4 or phase 5? Where is this official? Does anyone know?
I think it's phase 5.
This is phase 5. This is the first film in phase 5.
Right, but this was technically supposed to come out before Captain America: Brave New World. So this was actually supposed
to... This is the fuckaroo of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange all over again, is really what this is.
So this was supposed to be part of phase 4. As part of phase 4, I would say this is great. This is the best part of phase 4. As a step toward phase 5, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, they've already proven that you can have a disparate band of misfits and turn them into a team, and that we're going to love them with Guardians of the Galaxy. I think both Suicide Squad movies over at DC were in reaction to Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think they kind of tried to replicate that tone, the sort of goofy, ultimately tone, which Thunderbolts was, in its conception, was a group of fucking villains. Baron Zemo formed the fucking Thunderbolts initially. Like, this is their chance to do the team up of the fucking serious people in the MCU. And for the most part, they act very seriously once they sort of engage in combat. But then the rest of it, it's all sort of jokesterism and none of the jokes land. And I don't want them to be like cracking wise with each other. Like, John Walker is a piece of shit of a human being. That's kind of what I like about him, because ultimately he wants to do the right thing. Like, these are all terrible people yearning to be better. And what we get is, a glad handing, slapping on the back thing for like a good of this movie. This movie doesn't begin until like 1 hour in, honestly. If this had been like a Marvel television special where at the end we get to meet the new Avengers, well, okay, that makes sense to me. But like, as its own feature film, it's so disjointed and weirdly paced. Like we get all of the characters sort of thrown in, but it's an exposition dump. Like, I don't know.
And a very lazy exposition dump as well. The most like, it's the standoff of standoffs. It's like, who are you? Who are you? It was like Spider-Manning one another. Mike, same question to you. Thoughts on Thunderbolts Asterisk?
Well, I am unfamiliar with this as a comics title, very much. So I have nothing to compare it against. I'm not familiar with who the villain is of this film. Well, I guess there are two villains, really. I am familiar with the Julia Louis-Dreyfus character who keeps popping up in these Marvel shows, and then at the end of Black Widow. Is it weird that I keep forgetting that Black Widow is dead? Because I keep watching the Black Widow movie, and I mean, I always don't think that people are dead in permanence in Marvel universes. So I'm just like, oh, what? Wait, what? Why is she sad? Oh, her sister's dead. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that is.
And here's hoping they never bring her back, because the permanence of her death seems to actually echo in the MCU. We all know Captain America Steve Rogers is on his way back at some point.
Is he?
Oh, yeah. Oh, 1,000%.
You mean like that old guy, the 90-year-old guy? He's gonna be like, nope, I don't think so.
Joe Biden?
Joe Biden? Yes.
You bet.
Weird Joe Biden.
That guy's currently on the moon. You wait and see.
Yeah, so I was unfamiliar with the Thunderbolts concept. I honestly thought that the Thunderbolts were a reference to General Thunderbolt Ross, so that it has nothing to do with him and lots to do with Yelena's elementary school, maybe even preschool soccer team. I'm like, right. Oh, okay.
That is actually a change from the comics, though.
Oh, okay.
Because they are named for General Thaddeus Thunderbolt.
That's what I was thinking.
That is what it is, yes.
Okay.
As Father Malone and I are sitting here smirking, it's because you were right in that assessment. That is where that comes from in the comics. Yeah.
All right. Is he like their team or something? Does he?
Yes,
is he,
yes,
Yes.
exactly. And Red Hulk is
Okay.
part of the
Oh,
team on
so
occasion.
he's like
this
the
is like
Waller and the superpowered chief of it, I guess.
And mind you, this is like 1997 Marvel. This isn't like 1975. Like this is
right.
We're talking at the point where Marvel is, oh God, correct me if I'm wrong here on this. Like Marvel is at the point where they've almost gone bankrupt.
They
right? Like,
filed for Chapter 11, I
Okay.
think, in 1996.
okay,
so,
that's
yeah.
what I thought. Like this is like the Hail Mary time. Like this is Marvel swinging hard.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I remember starting to read comic books in the early 2000s. That's when I started reading stuff like Ultimate Spider-Man and
Right.
the Ultimate stuff that I honestly think the Ultimate stuff is the best stuff that Marvel's ever done. And, I know, Father Malone, it's okay. I'm showing my age on this one.
Some of it is, and some of it is absolute
Dog shit.
So,
Yeah.
like
but
the
Ultimate
X-Men
Spider-Man.
version. Oh,
But Ultimate Spider-Man.
That's all
Yes.
Ultimate's got is Ultimate Spider-Man.
I would disagree. Ultimate Fantastic Four, but that's only because we get the Maker out of all of that, and the Maker is the best villain in any comic books. The Maker is just evil Reed Richards, which is like horrifying. What if the world's smartest man was just like, "Fuck this shit, I'm a big time villain," and his head is so big that it's a cone. It's like cone shaped because his brain has like enlarged so much from the knowledge he gets. So that's the only other thing.
Well, we're
in the
getting him
Ultimate
soon,
universe.
aren't we? Well, like after Doomsday, aren't they going to War World?
Oh, I hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
are they gonna do Maker that quickly? Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've been talking about Secret Wars for over a decade. I mean, they were just like, okay, well, pretty soon it's going to be the reign of Kang or whatever they're calling it.
Kang Dynasty.
Kang Dynasty, and then Secret Wars, baby. Here we come. Can't wait for
Yeah.
the Beyonder. And I'm like,
Okay. So
Yeah.
like I think are we on the same page that maybe this movie is Father Malone, are you in the camp that this is not worth seeing?
No, I think it is worth seeing. I think it's a movie that's has interesting, disparate parts.
Okay. And Mike,
Yeah.
are you in that same
Well,
thought?
I'm kind of still in my intro. I don't know if you
Okay,
realize
no, go
that
for
or
it.
not.
Yeah, go for it. No, go for it. I think we're just too excited to talk about it. I mean, that's what happens when we talk about these goddamn Marvel movies.
I liked it. There we go. Hey,
No, keep
and, and people in my theater were not as engaged. I had a couple talkers and I had quite a few cell phones going on to the point where I almost wadded up my popcorn bag and threw it at a guy a few rows in front of us because he just kept looking at his fucking phone. At least it was in dark mode, so that was better than the asshole next to me who is flashing his phone as he's like looking at it, and it's just like a flashlight in my eyes. So that was annoying.
I wonder why movie theaters are going under.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Well,
I
yeah,
said it
the
before, and
12
I'll
of us,
say it again. Why did the movie theater experience not change after COVID? Fuck you. That's why.
the 12 of us that were in that theater, and it was the only screening today that was not in like, I don't know, sense around 4D, blah, blah, blah.
They gotta
Like,
make their money somehow, Mike.
oh yeah. We have like this new thing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, at least MJR is doing this thing that is almost like Cinerama. They are doing like 3 screen type of thing. And I'm like, I don't know how you're doing this. I didn't walk into that theater to take a look, but eventually I'll probably see something in that. But yeah, I thought that it was an interesting way of going about the storytelling, the whole idea of cutting between the 3 stories for quite a while, between the Yelena story, the Bucky story, and then why am I blanking on Julie Louis-Dreyfus?
Allegra de Fontaine, the Sentry story.
Yes, the Fontaine, and I'm dropping the duh, just like fence from defense. That whole thing, like, her character, I mean, swap her out with Giancarlo Esposito and you've got the boys all over again. So yeah, it was very, very odd. I mean, especially like her talking with Bob and stuff. And yeah, the Bob character was interesting. I mean, they pretty much just hand it to you what he is, who he is, what's happening. I mean, from the very beginning when Yelena has her first mission that we see her on. And I will tell you, I thought she said that she was going to Oscorp. So I was super excited. I was like, yeah, Oscorp. Wow, we're friendly. No, Ox Group. Sorry. No.
Oxcorp.
Yes.
May I speak to the Valentina of it all?
Sure.
What a total fucking waste of Valentina as a character, considering they've been Nick Furying her throughout
like all of the phase 3, phase 4 stuff. She's just been sort of in the background, showing up and grabbing team members, catch as can, villains at that. It's been so exciting watching it happen. Like the fact that this movie begins with a scene where none of them have ever worked together. They're all just sort of separate assets. She's gathered them all, making them all each other's own target to get them all into one room so that she can incinerate them. But it's at a facility where she doesn't actually know what's going on. And like, why this movie didn't just begin with them as a team doing a mission to go take out this guy Bob for her? It would have saved so much time and allowed so much more of this, the other part of the story, the part that you're talking about, Mike, where we get backstory on each of our characters through these flashbacks, through these mystical flashbacks that, the Sentry can bring you into this nether world.
Said the word.
Hey, he said the word. It's spoilers time, baby. It's like the Red Hulk and Harrison Ford. It really is. Like
everything in this movie was spoiled. Every fucking good scene in this movie was in the trailer. There were zero surprises for me.
Olga Kurylenko not making it out of the first 15 minutes is fucking obvious.
Yeah, she wasn't in any other shot. And by the way, what the fuck, man? That's what they're doing with Taskmaster. That's how they're just going to prove that this is the serious thing before they start to make jokes for the next fucking hour and a half.
I'm so glad I didn't pay attention to any of the trailers because I knew nothing about Sentry. I was like, okay, yeah, here's this Bob guy. Of course, he's going to be this Sentry character. We get the mention of Sentry at the Oscorp stuff, and then we get the, here's all these character designs basically for him. And as soon as they hit that little box or whatever, I was like, oh, okay, here comes like the Adam Warlock of the group. All right, this makes total sense. And then when he showed up and he was like, well, I don't really remember anything. I was like, okay, so he's like Legion then or something. So, all right, he's going to be very powerful. At some point, he's going to reveal his powers. He's going to be huge. All right, I got this. And I mean, yeah, they just telegraphed everything. So not even having seen the trailers, I was like, okay, but I was surprised that Taskmaster died. I was very surprised by that, though. Thank you, IO9, for saying, we can't believe how cheap it was that this character didn't make it out of the first act. And I was like, okay, so one of them's going to die. And then when she didn't come out of that room that was incinerated, I was like, okay, well, I guess she's really dead. Like I expected her to come crawling out of the rubble.
No, she got shot in the head. She got headshotted
Right
at point blank range by Wyatt Russell, of all people.
Hey, I mean, I've seen Wolverine. He takes a lot of those.
That's true. Yeah, it's a bummer. Yeah. Like it doesn't work. It's one of the things in this movie that was a real problem. And look, they also revealed it when they revealed the cast of Doomsday because Olga Kurylenko was also not announced for that movie.
Well, they didn't announce a lot of people for that. I mean, Chris Hemsworth didn't get nominated.
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't get mentioned for it.
But to be fair, that's also because the assumption is he's going to be in the second.
Right. Doctor Strange is also didn't get.
Right.
Parker didn't get. So.
Right. Exactly.
And it's a fucking Avengers. Here's the thing about Sentry. And let me say something nice about the movie before I sort of dump on it, because that's probably what I'm going to end up doing the entire time. The opening scene where we get Yelena somewhat suicidal, like leaping off the building. And then in that first mission, they tackle a hallway fight scene, which we've seen dozens of them. Ever since Old Boy, everyone's got to have a fucking hallway fight scene. But here they do it. They give us a God point of view, so it's straight down, but it's completely lit from only one side. So it's silhouettes and shadows fighting beneath us as she wends her way through them. And it's a great shot. And it resonated with me while I was watching it because of the fucking trailers, because I know that Sentry's going to be floating in the air and turning people into like Hiroshima-like shadows on the ground.
Oh, wow. They ruined all that?
All of that.
Dude,
that
like all of it.
Sucks.
Like
I mean,
all of it, bro.
I was shocked when that first person turned to that shadow. I was like, I think, what was it, in the helicopter? And then like I also want to call him Crimson Dynamo, but the David Harbour character, Red Guardian, when Red Guardian saves that little girl and then she gets like, at first I thought it was dust, that Thanos thing, but I was like, oh wait, no, this is even more horrific, like the shadows. And yeah, I totally thought about Hiroshima and I was like, oh fuck, this is really bad. So I had no idea that was going to be happening.
That effect is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I wish it hadn't been ruined for me. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, eventually you're going to see the movie and you're going to see it again. And if it works, it works. And it does. Like, it's one of the best effects I've seen in a Marvel film in a while. And Sentry ends up being one of the best villains in a Marvel film. Long. Genuine threat that doesn't involve, it is the world ending, but somehow not. I don't know. It felt more personal. I guess that's because they introduced him so early. But again, like, I don't know, the pacing is just so fucking clumsy throughout that, by the end, because we spend the most time learning about Bob/Sentry. At the end, do you even know anything more than what you kind of came in with? A guy who woke up, like, we find out that he wanted to be powerful and he subjected himself to this thing, and now he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and his dad beat him and he did meth. So he's the first meth-powered superhero, which is, I mean, Marvel's got that going for it, which is nice.
That's fine. And it makes sense with these Thunderbolts, who, again, are terrible people. Run with the terrible. Please, Marvel, just commit. This is the problem. This is why I'm glad they fucking canceled Blade. Don't do Blade unless you're going to make it a horror. Don't do the dark side of Marvel unless you're going to commit to them. Because what we're going to get is this hybrid thing where they're kind of half giving us what they know that has worked in the past, and half giving us an attempt at something. So it just ends up feeling like nothing.
You're going to have to get a new mixer very soon, if that's what the problem is.
Yeah, it might be, man.
Holy shit.
Oh my
God. Sorry.
That's okay.
You're going to have to, like, check it every couple minutes is what it feels like.
All right. How about now?
You're good now.
You're good now.
All right, I'm just going to have to tap it every once in a while. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Hey.
Yeah, we understand.
Well, yeah, we know you're doing this on purpose, as if you even could, any more than any one of us.
Yeah.
It's hard to do things this stupid on purpose sometimes, but Marvel figured out how to do it. Because to your point, Father Malone, I really am sick and fucking tired of, in these movies, the things that happen not having any sort of stakes, because everything has been walked back. And the fact that thinking that Scarlett Johansson might come back is a possibility is, I think, very telling of where we are with the MCU, honestly, in a lot of ways. Because that's like one of the deaths in the MCU that, again, in my mind, you can't walk that one back. But yet it feels like with what we're about to get next year and the year after, it is going to be one of the most just like masturbatory, multiverses bullshit of all time, which is fine if they do it and then we never see it again. Great. But there have been no stakes in the MCU since Endgame. And that was like almost a decade ago. It makes me want to die that Endgame came out almost a decade ago. It's been like a really long time, right?
Oh, yeah. Long row to hoe.
There's no stakes in the MCU anymore. None. Zero. And that's because of the multiverse of stuff. Because now you can have like 8 different Spider-Man. And again,
I know, so they should be dealing with
it. It right. It did it right. It's contained within itself, which is fine. Like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is self-contained. Like, I don't think we're going to see that version of Miles Morales in Doomsday, but fuck me, that probably is now going to happen just because I've mentioned it, because they have the ability to do it. There's nothing stopping them, I guess, other than a cartoon character dancing around on screen with live action people, which would be weird even for the MCU, because I'm assuming that the agent, was it Captain Britain that we saw in Doctor Strange? That's not the one from What If, right? That's another one?
That's not Captain Britain at all.
Okay, so the one in What If is then Agent...
That's Agent Carter.
Yeah,
okay.
Agent Carter.
But those are two different characters in the MCU, right? Okay. So there's a cartoon version of that character running around that's not going to show up in Doomsday, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, like
there's no stakes anymore. It's just a frustrating thing that Marvel can't seem to do anymore, is make any of this stick.
They were saying that like the whole like the Strange Supreme character is not the same one that we saw in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and I'm just like, no, it makes total sense that that's the same character. Like, what? Why are you doing that? Like, go ahead, tie in What If. I'm really okay with that. Like, most people have watched it, and if they haven't, it's really okay. It's not that necessary. And that's the thing too with a lot of these characters. I'm like, well, it's not really even necessary that I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, I knew that John Walker was a piece of shit, but I watched that show. But yeah, they do okay with him showing up in here with the whole I'm watching the baby thing. But yeah, he gets redeemed way too quickly. And because the guy's a fucking psycho and really just should not have that, like
he's a psycho in one
instantaneous-
scene. That's
Yeah, exactly. But he shouldn't have instantaneous forgiveness, And
Which,
it's
which scene is he a psycho in?
just the one at the beginning of the movie where that's all of them in the incinerator room. The rest of it's just like laughing and joking. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't that, I mean, that's your whole like thesis on this movie, isn't it, Father Malone? Like that's the disparate tones of the movie are like, there's one movie and then there's another movie. Pretty much 2/3 of the rest of the movie is another movie. That first third is up into the incinerator is a serious movie. I would say up until a point until they escape there. And then everything else just becomes like very jokey.
No,
Like,
I
the
disagree.
escape.
I think it's really jokey from the outset, and I think that's the fucking problem. Like, Yelena's like,
talking to the guy that she has tied up and stuff, and like,
Okay.
yeah, like, oh, I needed that face, like that whole thing.
and then they're
really
like, and then they go to fucking Valentina, like in the Senate, and like that's sort of jokey too, and they meet Bucky, and that's kind of jokey too. And by the way, after how many seasons of Veep with Julia Louis-Dreyfus playing effectively the same sequences of like her on Capitol Hill being grilled by senators and stuff, all that did, putting those scenes in and having this whole impeachment fucking subplot was made me think about Veep and how fucking spectacular the dialogue and how leaden it is here. Like, were they expecting that because these are like comedic people, like comedic actors, that they were going to like enliven the script? Because they didn't.
Yeah, I have to assume so. 'Cause that's the way it came off for me as well. I mean, why else cast Julia Louis-Dreyfus in this role?
Here's the thing. When they first cast her, I was like, really? They're going with her? And then she wasn't really so far when we've seen her, she hasn't been playing funny. She's been playing rather sinister. And that was exciting to me. And she, we get a bit of that here and there throughout this, but really it's just another misguided attempt at humor. Like, everyone is just trying to be a jokester, and it's inappropriate given all of the fucking seriousness that we're talking about, because there's a lot to be mined out of these people.
Well, and I was going to say, the thing that really makes me laugh about this movie is it also reminds me the most of like an A24 Marvel movie, because the Sentry is
could have been
health.
It could have been.
Sentry is mental health. Ugh. Just like in, I'm trying to think, The Witch is, it's about, being, it's about, feminism. That movie's kind of about feminism and the way women are treated. Like,
I would have liked that
these
movie.
X as Y. Yeah, I agree. X as Y movies. I don't understand why they had to muss the tone up. I don't get it.
Halfway through this movie is when they all should have gotten sucked into his brain. And then because once that happens, like 10 minutes before the fucking movie ends, it comes to life, man.
Yeah, that whole thing of them going to his brain, I was like, the movie's over already? Like this, I'm like, yeah, they should have been a whole thing after that. And yeah, that should have happened way quicker. Yeah, the pacing in this movie is very, very strange. And I kind of was hoping, now this is going to sound a little trite, but I was actually hoping that they would have learned, like, yes, they all like lock arms and they walk up that tube and everything at the beginning, and it ultimately almost fails kind of thing. I was kind of hoping, like, just to get out of that room. And they do this a little bit with the whole like knocking out the power thing and then Ghost going through the door and all that. But I was really hoping like each person would have something to add to the situation in order to make them realize like we work better as a team than as a bunch of individuals.
The getting the group together stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And Bob is the only one where you're just like, well, this guy's useless. Like, he's like what's that guy's name? Kevin from the Deadpool movies, the guy with the mustache that just shows up here and there. Like, or oh gosh, it feels like there's another like useless,
Well, yeah, the
driver
of course in Deadpool, literally like the fucking cab driver in Deadpool.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Mohinder, I can't remember.
Yeah, Mohinder. Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of hoping for more of that, and then even as the movie's going, it isn't until the moment where they lift up that big stone slab that they all finally work together. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a little cheap for me, where I'm just like, all right, like they're all saving
It
everybody.
felt very early 2000s, right? That felt like a
Yeah.
Fantastic Four moment.
Felt like X-Men.
Yeah. Well, and then when they're fighting in New York, I'm just like, is that the same bridge that Captain America like yeeted Natasha onto one of the Chitauri vehicles? Like, is this the same? Like, we're now having our Battle of New York. Like, is this
Kind of.
basically? I mean, this is before they become the new Avengers at the end of the film, and I was just like, okay, so are these guys basically like, is this the 2025 version of the Avengers, and basically everything is darkness and it's all psychological, and when we go inside of the cloud of darkness and inside of his brain, that's when we, like, this is where we're at with our country, with our mental health, is that we are just engulfed in darkness and have to find a way out of the darkness through friendship. I don't know. It sounds like a Hallmark card or something, but
Sounds very trite, Mike.
yeah, I was okay with
I'm with
it.
that. I'm totally with that. If they fucking made that the whole movie, they should have. If the movie had a point of view, it could have worked like gangbusters.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the problem. Like they almost, again, like they didn't commit to the bit. You got to commit to the bit. You made Werewolf by Midnight, motherfuckers. You did it in black and white. I mean, again, I know Father Malone, there were issues with it. I know. Thumbs down, he says. Nay, nay. That's what the horsies say. But it's better than this because they allowed him to commit to more of a horror vibe than they let this movie commit to essentially a horror movie vibe. Could have been a horror movie. He's pretty horrifying if he turns you into a Hiroshima shadow.
Oh, yeah.
That's horrifying.
This movie should have been half Winter Soldier, half fucking Nightmare Fuel.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand why they can't just go, we're making a genre film within a genre. Like, why is this so hard, Marvel? What is the problem here? I don't get it.
I don't get the subplot in this and the Hulk movie, the Captain America movie.
The Hulk movie
features the Hulk prominently. I don't get this whole thing of Bucky being a senator. And they even say at one point, they're like, that's it, you're through, like no full-term senator for you. I think Valentina says that. And I'm just like, are we done with that subplot of him being a senator?
so.
How the fuck did that even start? Was that in Falcon and Winter Soldier? And I just completely blotted it out.
It's how they get Sam Wilson to be Captain America.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. But who cares? Like, have him just go off and be Bucky somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, this is a guy who, like, why did he have to suddenly jump into service? The man's been frozen for fucking 90 years and forced to kill his friends.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I was really shocked that we didn't get more of their flashbacks. I mean, show me more that everybody is hurting. Like, I understand that, we see the Oya thing, not Oya. Yelena stuff a few times. And I'm like, okay, right. Okay, got it. We see a little bit of the John Walker stuff. All right, I got it. But like, I mean, as Natasha would say, Bucky's got a lot of red in his ledger. And like all of these people basically have red in their ledger. And I'm just like, yeah, show me.
Bucky killed fucking Iron Man's parents.
Exactly.
In this MCU, in this sacred timeline, as this movie would love to. Well, I can't wait. Oh,
I mean, gosh, like the Red Guardian, like tell me some of the bad shit that the Soviets made this guy do.
Yeah.
This movie should have been so fucking sinister. It should have been like, you should have been like paralyzed by the end. Like, you know what? The trite ending you're describing would have worked like a fucking Spielberg movie if we had waded through all of these people's terrible psyches, remembering all the horrible shit they've done.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even like with Ghost, it's like, I mean, to be honest, it's been a long time since the Ant-Man Wasp movie, long enough that I have pretty much forgotten it, other than that Walton Goggins is in it. So, feel free to refresh me on her, please.
She's in a suit that essentially she is constantly dematerializing.
Right, and I remember the whole thing.
So that's like the one thing. Yeah, and she's Lawrence Fishburne's daughter, or like surrogate daughter, I think.
Right. And she's in a tremendous amount of pain
all the time.
And then they had to go
that's how
the quantum realm.
Right. She's quantum phasing at all times. The suit helps focus her and keep her in our realm, but then she can phase in and out based on that.
And you know what? I would have been okay with a flashback of some sort to just like connect me with that character. Because I think, again, she could have been a delightful character, but I got nothing from her.
And that's one of those characters where she is so fucking powerful that
it kind of boggles the mind. Like a fight scene with her and any regular human is over in 2 seconds. She can just phase out and phase inside you and pull out your heart. Like it's done. Like even when she goes up against Sentry by the end, I'm like, this could be really interesting if they actually thought it through instead of just this magic trick of her appearing and disappearing.
But they always do the other thing too with her character where they had to have a way to explain why she can't be as powerful as the character actually is, which are those like sonic impeder things that like when she runs up to him, it like shocks her backwards. That's the other.
Yeah.
It's like the, how do they smoke in space? I don't know, invent the oxygen smoker thing. Like it's that bullshit. Like how do we kneecap the character immediately by having a magical thing that they can't get through? And it's just for that character, because that character, yeah, exactly. Again, they never explained why Ant-Man couldn't just go into Thanos' asshole and expand and kill him. They never explained that. I mean, again, the internet asked the question. They never explained it.
It's a valid
And this
question.
is essentially the same thing. Like she could just go whoop whoop and you're dead.
Why doesn't
Literally.
Marvel employ a serious nerd to read the scripts and ask these questions, and then they can decide whether or not, like, is this serious enough for us to answer? But sometimes, like with Ghost and her powers, it's kind of need it. Like, shouldn't Valentina have some sort of thing to back her up? There's a moment where she's controlling Sentry and he's like, wait, why do I have to listen to you? And I'm like, yeah, dummy. Why does he have to listen to you? You've got nothing on him.
Yeah. Sentry, I mean, he's an interesting character. I can't say that I'm familiar with Lewis Pullman. Other than being Bill's son, he reminds me a lot of Jake Weber. Do you guys remember Jake Weber?
Absolutely. I think he's a more interesting Jake Weber.
I like Lewis Pullman a lot, actually. I see a lot of his dad in his performance, and he plays sad sack really well, which for me, like Bill Pullman's always had like a little like sad sack edge to him with those like puppy dog eyes.
Oh, especially
and Lewis
young
Pullman
Bill
has
Pullman.
those. Yeah, Lewis Pullman has those puppy dog eyes. I mean, Lewis Pullman's a good looking guy too. Like put a cowboy hat on him, and like he could be convincingly old Western cowboy too. Just like, I mean, because there was a Bill Pullman like cowboy movie that came out a couple of years ago. Like,
well, he was on that show with Josh Brolin. He was Josh Brolin's son in Outer Range. Yeah, he was a cowboy in that. He was great in that.
Yeah. So I mean, I think honestly, it's probably just they underutilize him, because that scene between him and Julia Louis-Dreyfus is pretty scary. Where he's like, I don't really need to listen to you.
Yeah,
like,
I liked
all.
that a lot.
That's pretty scary. I mean, again, he's Superman.
Oh yeah.
But what the movie doesn't do is it doesn't make it clear how he's not. It doesn't feel like he's enough of a threat.
He's
not
these
just
guys, Superman.
These guys kill these guys kill him. That's in my opinion. At least.
Well, no, he kills himself. That's fine. Like the resolution in the film is okay by me. If you're going to figure out a way to sort of defeat Superman, the best way is to have Superman defeat himself. So I actually thought that was kind of clever. But
for me, he's not Superman. He's Homelander. He is so. I mean, Homelander is one of the scariest superheroes / supervillains ever for me anyway. Like watching The Boys, and there's nothing that can stop them. They've been trying for 3 seasons now and they haven't done anything. And then just the whole like jingoistic thing. Like I was actually kind of hoping that maybe we would see more of Sentry before he realizes I don't have to listen to you. Like if that again just felt very, very rushed. Like, okay, here's the revelation of him in the costume. All the people are there. They attack him. That doesn't work. And then immediately into that, why should I listen to you at all? I'm a god. Oh, you're using that G word. Well, you said I'm more powerful than the Avengers. They have a god. Here I am. And that they're having that discussion in that same room where Robert Downey Jr. famously gives his whole like, and we have a Hulk. Like that whole thing in the Avengers, the original Avengers. Throw me a bone here. Give me something. Give me the exact same angle or something, or even give me somebody who tries to come up on Sentry and try to call him a puny god or something. Just give me a little bit of Avengers in there, because I was so thrilled just to be back in Avengers Tower.
This should have been Dark Avengers, not New Avengers.
Well, they're different. They're a whole different.
I know, but that's my point. I mean, again, like if you had gone the direction that we're talking about with this movie, you could have gotten away with calling this Dark Avengers, is my point, as opposed to New Avengers, which the tone does not match this movie at all. Because to Mike's point just now, why set this in Avengers Tower if you're not going to do any of those things? It's been such a long time since the original Avengers came out. Since a movie with the title just Avengers came out, that was like 2012. Oh, that's a long, like 12, 11, like something like that.
Well,
Am I
2019 was Avengers
when was
Endgame.
No, when was the original
Oh,
Avengers?
the original?
Yeah, when did the original, because that's what this movie's.
2012.
It's been a long time
Yeah.
since the original Avengers. And if this is the movie that is trying to ape the movie with a climax similar and a threat similar and having a team,
You're
I don't
so
understand
right.
why
I mean,
not go further. What the fuck? What's stopping you? You literally set the movie in Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
Why fucking waste? It's just mind-boggling, some of the decisions that were made, and it's like you go all the way up to the edge and then you just don't commit to the bit. Like you have an asterisk in the title. I don't even get it. Like you did the fucking you even went all the way with the title too, all the way to the end of the movie. We don't see it until the end of the goddamn movie, and you couldn't. It's I don't get it.
They didn't make that very clear at all, that asterisk was supposed to be like, no, it's the new Avengers, or like, I guess on the poster it says the Avengers were not available.
Right.
I have no problem with an asterisk and then them filling the title in later. It's just that, to everyone's point here, this movie begins 1 hour into it. If everything had started with them on their first mission in the first 20 minutes, finding this guy Bob, and then Bob in the 20-minute mark is, hey guys, guess what? I'm actually fucking Sentry, and here we go. Then we would have had time for all of this, including a recreation of the Battle of New York with the new Avengers and how they have to deal with it. It could have been fucking great. And you know what? At one point, Valentina is pouring a fucking drink, just like Tony Stark was doing. Like, but what's great is she's like, he's going to be the mightiest heroes, you guys, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. And I was like, that was the time to recreate the shot from Avengers.
Right.
But like her insistence that she doesn't actually give a shit about any of this.
And we have Robert Downey Jr. coming back. We all know this. If anyone has seen anything, so like, why not start skewing the angle of the original Avengers? Because I'm just going out on a limb here and going to assume that whatever Doctor Doom is going to have some reflection of Tony Stark baked in.
Well, I mean, from them saying that the Fantastic Four ship at the end is an interdimensional thing, I'm like, okay, so does that mean now that so Doctor Doom is probably an interdimensional thing? He's probably following them from that dimension. I'm wondering if they were coming from that dimension because maybe Galactus actually wins at
the
movie.
1000%.
They fail. The movie is they lose in the end.
Galactus wins, Silver Surfer dies. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, they spoiled the movie already. Like, I hate it. I hate it so much. It makes me so upset because like you should have released the Fantastic Four movie before this goddamn movie, because you have spoiled the movie. And whatever Robert Downey Jr. is, however he factors into all of this, if he's Tony Stark from their universe, which is probably what it's going to be, which is, I guess they're going to have a hard time not spoiling it. And whatever the last trailer is that comes out for the Fantastic Four movie, they're going to have a hard time not spoiling whatever Robert Downey Jr. is doing in the post-credit scene. But I really am bummed out by the way that they did the Fantastic Four thing in this movie, because it is so ham-fisted. Like, in a way that makes me wish for the days of Sam Jackson just being like, I'm putting together a team.
Well, and that end credit sequence for Iron Man and for a lot of those, very quick. This end credit scene with them, oh my God, whoa, Sam Wilson, he's trying to form the Avengers. What are we going to do? Oh, this whole copyright. Oh, look at this outfit. Like, all of these things going on. I'm like, okay.
And checking with Bob again, by the way.
The only thing I really liked about it was Bucky kind of giving her some advice as far as like, hey, you're going to need to call for this, and you should ask for this thing from the computer and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of nice, because I mean, for as much as he's in this movie, I feel like Bucky gets short shrift. I feel like a lot of people get short shrift, and it's like, it's not that there's too many characters. It's a good amount. I mean, there's the same, if not fewer characters than there are in the Avengers, but I sure get a lot more feel for those Avengers. And you talking about how them fighting and everything, I'm just like, oh yeah, just like the Avengers are fighting at the beginning of the Avengers, and that whole wasted fight of Captain America and Iron Man and Thor going at it kind of thing.
On the ship, yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying
No, but
even
they
in the
start
forest.
fighting. No, but they
then
start
when
fighting on top of
fight
that
on the ship. Yes.
No,
well,
but the
they
thing
fight
in the
on
forest,
the ship.
the thing in the forest starts on a ship and then it goes into the forest because Thor's intercepting. I watched the original Avengers for this.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the ship as in like the
helicarrier versus the Quinjet is what we're discussing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that fight is better than anything in this movie.
They don't like each other. They can't work as a team. It takes that sacrifice of Phil Coulson, or like basically his sacrifice / the lie of the collector's cards and stuff in order to bring them together. And it's like, okay, like Loki is the one who's basically pulling the strings and like, seeding this descent and everything. There's, like maybe Elena, the Valentina character, could have been doing that, but no,
no,
like,
she's not. That's the thing.
Not.
They ultimately make her character completely fucking powerless in this thing, where she doesn't know about Bob. She sends all of this team of fucking badass assassins in to kill each other, not even considering that they might decide that they want to live more than that and that they would come and get her. Like, she shows up with a whole other, like, why, once they figure out that they've turned against her, can't she just nuke that fucking facility that they're in? Why do they show up with a team of people? Like, she just bumbles her way through the movie. She's like the anti-Nick Fury. And I thought she was going to be the even more efficient Nick Fury. Like, as slippery as Nick Fury's moral compass can be, Valentina has none. She's the head of the fucking Serpent Society at some point.
Right. She's kind of she revels in it, and the movie makes note of it, but it doesn't go far enough. It's this weird.
They make her inept with all of these fuck ups.
What tone does that serve by not having a villain that's actually a threat? Because again, like, they take it almost all the way with Bob, and then they walk it back right at the end. Like,
this is a movie in search of a plot. It has no story at all going on.
Do they not think that the audience can take a serious movie? Like, I don't understand. Like, Endgame, Tony Stark died in Endgame. Like, Iron Man died, and they're not walking that back. I hope. I mean, they are walking it back, sort of, if you want to say, in as much as recasting Robert Downey Jr. in your franchise as a different character who's essentially the inverse of the character he already played is a cop-out, which it kind of is. But at the same time, I mean, if anybody's going to do it and the prices are down because times are hard and you need something to move the needle, that moved the needle. It did. Even if none of us liked it, even if none of us agreed with it, it moved the needle. For some people, it got some people imminently re-interested into all of this. Because Robert Downey Jr. is a name that matters to people.
I have a lot of little points about this movie. Obviously, I think the pacing is pretty bad, but I liked it. I had a fun time at the movies today seeing it. And the last thing that I saw at the movies was fucking Captain America 4. And it's like, There's just been nothing interesting me between the last Marvel movie and this Marvel movie. And I'm sure listeners will be like, what the fuck? There's so many great things. But it's like, yeah, but to get my ass off of the couch and into the movie theater, yeah, most of the time I'm just like, yeah, I'll wait for it. I mean, Mickey 17, I was getting ready to watch that. And then it's like, oh yeah, this is going to be out, streaming within like 4 days. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess
it's not that you don't watch new stuff, Mike. It's that you don't go to the theaters to watch new stuff. That's more the point.
Exactly. It's kind of more of a wait and see most of the time.
Which I mean, like, I don't even understand why anyone could take issue with that. Like, have you been to see a fucking movie? I saw a movie on a boat for free. Like, I can't in good conscience be like, go see this movie. Like, because again, I'm not advocating someone go and drop like $30 for a ticket, which is what it feels like in this day and age to go see a goddamn movie in a shitty experience with a shitty audience.
I will. I'll invite everyone to go spend their money on Sinners, which is still in theaters and still at #1 at the box office. Go see that fucking movie. Yeah, fucking great.
Yeah, and that one, you want the theatrical experience, because I watched that little Ryan Coogler video where he's just like, hey, man, I shot this in this format, and you can see it here, and you can see it there. And I'm like, yes, please. That sounds great. And I'm hearing nothing but great things about it. And again, I'm just like, all right, why haven't I gone to see that yet? And I don't know why. I have no good excuse.
And Ryan Coogler is a director that Marvel has worked with and have and have kneecapped constantly by not allowing him to do movies like Sinners, which I, like Father Malone has said, I've heard nothing but good things about.
Well, Black Panther was good, and yeah, but Wakanda Forever, believe me, Wakanda Forever is a fucking great movie considering. What he had to do in the wake of all of that with a deadline and then pushing him and trying to make him put all these new characters in and shit, like that was a Herculean effort. The fact that movie is watchable at all is a fucking triumph.
I don't know if it is watchable.
It's barely.
I was gonna say though, but I don't. That's
I've
because
never
they
gone
didn't.
back to it.
They didn't let Ryan Coogler make the movie he wanted to. He had to essentially make what felt like Age of Ultron.
Yeah, but like what
like,
movie did he want to make? He wanted to make a movie with fucking with Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. Like that's not Marvel's fault. Like they should have taken a few years off and let him like consider his feelings and written a new Black Panther movie instead of just putting it in the pipeline and like jamming it out there, because that one should have been more special.
And that's why, and as I'm saying, like they didn't. Marvel just, and this has kind of always been the thing. Like I go back to, and again, I know because again we're just having a broad Marvel conversation. I go back to Captain America, Joe Johnston, who directed The Rocketeer, one of my favorite movies. Like I'm always disappointed that movie isn't more like The Rocketeer than it is, and it doesn't have that tone and fun tone because it feels like again it was kind of serving corporate masters in a way, and that's fine. But like Marvel has never been able to get out of their own way. I know, but again, like it's shades of it. Like,
it shouldn't. You know what? I don't think Captain America should be anything like The Rocketeer. I think Captain America should be like Captain America. I think Joe Johnston like hit the tone correctly. I think that script failed him. I think we didn't get enough of Captain America being Captain America for a long stretch of the movie because they were worried about runtime. They are no longer worried about runtime. I wish they had. I wish they had the Thunderbolts fucking asterisk ethos on Captain America: First Avenger. But it's not because like that movie is off in any way. It's just that it's hamstrung a little bit by that script.
Yeah, it definitely. And you know what? Again, I was really waiting for when Sentry goes against Bucky and is beating the shit out of him, and Bucky gets up and goes at him again. I was really waiting. I was waiting for him to say, "I could do this all day." I was like, "Please throw me that fucking bone."
Missed opportunity. Again, why call this New Avengers if you're not going to take those opportunities that you're setting yourself up for?
Well, they didn't. They called it Thunderbolts.
Right. Instead, they're making references to Ubers and stuff.
But
and I'm
wait
like,
a second, Art. Is this going to come out as New Avengers when it comes out on some sort of physical media?
No.
Okay, so it's okay.
Yeah.
So why even call this New Avengers?
They didn't.
It's literally was in the movie at the end of the movie.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a thing. It's like
it's just a thing. Okay, so it's just a thing. Great.
That's what I'm saying. If this had been a fucking like a special on Disney Plus, then I would have been like, oh, this is set up for the fucking New Avengers movie.
I actually I'm still kind of wondering why my question kind of went over so strange. They literally are making it clear that they at some point might re-reference this as the New Avengers.
Oh, I hope they don't.
That's my
they are never.
Is that
why would they ever?
What?
They're not going to. They're not going to retitle the movie the New Avengers. That's ridiculous. Which of their previous titles have they renamed?
Which of their previous movies have they ever had an asterisk next to the title?
Well, that's infallible. You're right. They're definitely going to retitle the movie down the road. They're letting us know in the future they're just going to retitle the movie so they can get another fucking, $20 out of us for a physical copy.
Is there going to be is there ever going to be a movie titled New Avengers? Is I guess the better question.
No. I doubt it. I mean, even when Sam puts together his team, it's probably going to be for the next Avengers film, the Doomsday film.
We'll get Young Avengers before we get a New Avengers.
And that's what I think, because I was going to say, like, the thing that bothered me the most about the Wakanda Forever movie is that it's a secret Ironheart movie. Yeah. And I would have been much more interested in just seeing Ironheart than seeing fucking Namor and all that shit. So go ahead, save Namor for when the Fantastic Four land on our Earth, please. But keep your Namor away from my Black Panther. And I'm sure that they probably, I know the whole like.
Why do we need secrets of movie? Like, why do we need a secret Hulk movie and a Captain America movie?
Right.
Why did we need a secret Ironheart movie in the Wakanda Forever movie? Like, I don't understand why.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Hulk, because they don't have the rights and they have to to sneak him in. So that one I understand. But yes, I don't understand why they keep piggybacking other characters into what should be a one-on-one situation.
Right. Yeah. I mean, just like, have we seen Riri Williams since Wakanda Forever? Like, she just
no.
Maybe she showed up in the last season of What If, I think, possibly. But
well, we were supposed to get a series, the Iron Wars television series.
That's right.
And then they said they were going to turn it into a feature film, and now I don't even know if they're going to do that.
Yeah, that's right. Was it Armor Wars or
Armor
something?
Wars, yeah. Man.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, this has been a lot of the MCU's like
graveyard,
over-promising, under-delivered times. Yeah.
The graveyard of shows that are never coming back. I mean, today they're like, oh, there's not going to be a Hawkeye season 2. And I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, Crimea River. That first one was so great.
Well, a lot of like these phase like 4 and 5 movies are just like the shit that they've announced, the things that have come out, the order that they came out in, the orders that with the Spider-Man and Doctor Strange movie where that order mattered and they did it out of order. And that Spider-Man movie works because that Spider-Man movie is good. But I think that's probably like is that not the best movie that's come out since Endgame, right?
Yeah, I think that's the most rewatchable, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not necessarily great because that movie has a lot of problems too.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
agree.
almost like it has the least amount of problems, which is like at this point like damning with faint praise. Like it has the least problems of the last phase 4 and 5 movies. Like great.
And that movie introduces to the MCU what is the best thing to come out since Endgame, which is current, which is this new season of Daredevil Born Again. It's fucking awesome. Best thing Marvel has done in forever.
Kind of like Andor is the best thing that Star Wars has done in forever, right?
I never really got into the Daredevil show.
You don't need to. Start with Born Again.
Okay. Because, for me, I was like, I was a big fan of Jessica Jones. All the others, I was like, yeah, you can keep that. Like Luke Cage was okay, but I don't know if I ever finished that season. I'm not about to watch Iron Fist, and then like Daredevil.
I don't think
for
anybody
me,
was, to be fair, Mike.
Yeah, I mean Daredevil for me, I was just like, yeah, this is okay, but where's Ben Affleck? Come on.
I know, and Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell is missed as Daredevil, though. I mean, as in Daredevil, as Bullseye. Yeah.
Oh, fucking A, he was so good in that. Especially when he points at his head, and he goes Bullseye, and then laughs and leaves.
Remember when he kills an old lady with a toothpick?
Oh yeah, or him at the end with the paper clip and the fly, and
he kills a guy next to him on an airplane with a peanut that he ricochets off the cabin walls. Yes. Listen, if Marvel really needs to tie up the whole timeline bullshit, they need to give us one fucking thing so we can have stakes once again in this series. And if they do, please do it correctly and pull in everybody. I mean, everybody in the Marvel universe. Get Colin Farrell in as Bullseye. Get fucking January Jones in as Emma Frost and Kevin Bacon. You know what I mean? Bring in fucking everybody and then decimate them all.
Well, and that was so, I mean, I don't know how much you guys do of like the Marvel kind of specting as people do with like the things and the leaks and stuff, but there was a leaked script for Kang Dynasty, and that's essentially what that movie was you had like Nick Cage as Ghost Rider and all sorts of straight up. They were going to try to get Nick Cage back as Ghost Rider for that movie just so that they could have what essentially Father Malone's talking about. All those characters just essentially like to show the threat being a threat. You have a group of disparate characters coming together that get fucked out of existence at the end of the movie. And then the second movie is just the rest of the people coming in to fix the problem from the first movie, which, I mean, that's probably what we're going to get anyways, because they can't help themselves. But that is what Kang Dynasty, Father Malone, was going to be. They were trying to get Nick Cage as fucking Ghost Rider back. And you know what? There is a universe, there's a version of this where we did get that, where Jonathan Majors wasn't
in a different universe. Let's go to that timeline.
Just recast it. Take the guy who is the what was his name? The higher intelligence from Guardians 3. If you need a black guy, pick that guy, because he was fucking amazing in Guardians 3. Get him in there. High evolutionary, right? Oh yeah, and like go right. I mean, but yeah, just Kang is a multi-dimensional being, and that's his whole thing.
Baked into the fucking character, you dipshits. What sort of bozo, pardon the parlance, Mickey Mouse logic is this shit? You literally have it baked into the character. You could just do, you know what? Again, to go back to the inventor of time, just Time Lord his ass. He just regenerates. Fuck off, Marvel. Like, nope. They got cold feet. They got cold feet. That's all this is. They knew what would move the needle, and they did. And instead of committing to something different, they decided to bail out. I mean, and again, if you watch this movie is a microcosm of a bigger MCU problem, which is and then we have a joke. And it's like, it's always been the thing that everyone's held against Marvel is the tone, like the Joss Whedon effect. Like, you get the seriousness, and then right before it's supposed to be all the way serious, you have a jokey bullshit. And Marvel can't escape it. Even now, like, just the movie itself is like that. Like, the movie can't get out of the way of a tone that could be taking the audience halfway serious. This movie wants to be jokey because it doesn't think the audience is prepared to see characters die. We watched Iron Man die. We watched Black Widow and Gamora die. We watched those characters die, and they're dead for good. Some of them, like, we can handle it. Why? Like, the people have grown up with these movies. Like, there were children that were like 8 years old when these movies came out. They're adults now. Like, I don't get it. Like, just respect your audience a little bit.
There is no universe, by the way, where Yelena, the White Widow, is her main problem is that she's not loved enough by her surrogate dad, Red Guardian. That guy would be an oozing pile of love for that character. Like, he would call her every fucking day. That was bullshit. That's like a straw man, you know? They just like set that shit up so that she has something to cry about. But like, how about she just wants to fucking die because she's fucking killed so many people, a lot of innocent people, and now her sister is dead and she no longer has meaning in her life. Maybe that's what's troubling her.
It's baked into it. It's I don't understand why they ignore the obvious and go for the.
You don't call me enough on the weekends, Papa. Like, that's it? That's what we're getting?
Yeah. I just don't understand where are the stakes. Where are the stakes here? They don't have them because they know that they have this. I think, and this is me just making a supposition here. They have this massive reset button coming up.
So go for it. So fucking go for it.
I don't get it. Like, why not? Like, you literally know what's coming up. You know that, again, we know what they've cast for Doomsday. They cast the X-Men from the original X-Men movies. You think that those characters are making it out of that movie? Like, no, they're not. Like, and that's not a surprise to anybody because of the way Marvel's doing things. They're telegraphing everything now because they're making it very clear that from the point that second Avengers movie comes out on is going to be a completely different thing that's probably going to look nothing like any of this, which is I'm perfectly fine with and cool with, but convince me that that's not what they're doing. I just don't understand why none of this stuff feels like just throw whatever, caution to the wind and go for it. If that's what we know is coming, just do it.
Marvel got you are right. Marvel got cold feet because what happened was not only were they sort of slow thinking they were going to take their time like they did with earlier projects as far as setting up the multiverse, but I don't think they were expecting Everything Everywhere All at Once to come out and sort of poison those waters and get everyone like a little too overused to a multiverse as a problem. And then, DC started doing it. TV series have been doing it. Everyone's been doing different timelines. Like, you get memes about it now. So what they did was back way off and continue telling sort of regular sort of standard stories, not leading us in any direction whatsoever because they were supposed to be leading us in the timeline direction. Where they should have done is every fucking single one of them should have been crazy with cameos. They should have been setting this up all along. Like, why is fucking Nick Cage as Ghost Rider suddenly helping us on our trip? Like, I don't know. They dropped the ball real, real hard.
Well, it just reminds me of the problem with Deadpool Wolverine. It's like, because it's a Wolverine movie, you couldn't make this the whacked out movie it should have been with every single insane cameo known to man, including, again, Nick Cage as Ghost Rider, Ben Affleck as Daredevil. Like, go further. Go to the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movies. Like, Fantastic Four movie. Go further than that.
No, because then you would have had to have A-list people in a Ryan Reynolds movie, and he couldn't handle that.
Wait, what?
See, having a problem. I'm not keeping up on this whole Blake Lively, whoever this other dude is. Like, I see headlines almost every single day, and I'm just like, I could not give a shit about any of this.
Wow. Well, I thought it was actually quite illuminating.
School is based on this guy. Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
I just can't pay attention to it.
Come to find out, like there was this whole campaign with trying to get this guy discredited because Ryan Reynolds was like rewriting the script and trying to like control the direction of the film itself, like right from the get-go, to the point where like she came forward and had to have a mediation where she claimed all of this shit was going on, that he was like behaving sexually aggressively towards her. And he signed off, like, I will not continue any of this sort of behavior, but he signed it because he's directing the movie, and his fucking lead actress just came out and said this, and you can tell he was like, whatever, let's just get the movie made. And then afterwards she starts like bringing it up, and then he has footage of them in all the scenes that she said he was doing it to her, where he did nothing of the sort. It's crazy. It's
whoa.
Yeah, in a world where like you're lucky to get a movie made, the fact that anyone is behaving this way anymore is fucking bonkers to me.
I didn't know Ryan Reynolds apparently is a bad man.
Seems like a real piece of shit now, actually.
Whoa, yeah. Where have all the good boys gone, Mike? What's happening? Oh no. God damn.
He's Canadian. He's supposed to be way nice.
I know.
Should have been.
Dan Aykroyd was setting that bar way too high, Father Malone, I guess.
All around the world, same song.
Oh man. Yikes. Oh, good. It's nothing but trouble. Ryan Reynolds seems like nothing but trouble, if you know what I mean.
I know we've said a lot of things on this episode, but when this comes to the Plex server, I'm going to be watching it again, probably a few times. I'm sorry, but I don't know. Something about these movies, like, even though it's like, well, yeah, it missed the mark. It could have been better. The pacing's off. This is off. This should have been better. But it's like, yeah, all right. It made me happy for 2 hours and 6 minutes in a movie theater.
As mediocre, and at times this movie is not great as this movie is, it's, I think, a movie I will probably come back to several times as well, because I enjoyed it. It's better than the last 3 Marvel things I saw. And I'm probably going to engage with Marvel a little bit further with Daredevil, to Father Malone's suggestion, because I never really watched the original show. But I did want to mention, and I did want to ask, because we kind of alluded to it a little bit, but to kind of bring this all full circle, or all the way, back to the beginning, or again to the spoilers of it all, what did we think about the reveal with the Fantastic Four? Like, to end the movie with that, and to make that clear that this is where this is headed, and to, again, I'm just curious y'all's thoughts on the way that they handled it, the way that it was executed.
Clumsy.
Well, as the credits were rolling, I was just like, okay, what's going to be the big reveal? And I honestly thought it was going to be something to do with Doomsday, just because that whole fucking video with the chairs and stuff, what a stupid fucking stunt that was. But so I was like, okay, are they going to give us a little something, like 2 movies from now? Or maybe something about a TV show? We're going to see like White Vision or some of these characters that we haven't seen in a while. But no, it feels like they've really gone back to like, yes, exactly. It feels like they've kind of gone back to more of the older style, like those original Avengers movies, where it's like, okay, this leads to this, leads to this. I mean, I'm surprised that there wasn't a Thunderbolts thing inside of Captain America 4, but I guess having Sam Stearns talk about It's Coming is maybe the Doomsday thing. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, I saw fucking Jesse Eisenberg do the whole It's Coming thing at the end of one of those awful DC movies. I don't need that. I don't need Sam Stearns to be doing that. I'm just like, why did Sam Stearns even turn himself in? I'm still puzzling that. So to answer your question about Fantastic Four, I agree with Father Malone. It's clumsy.
Yeah, it's just sort of crammed in. It's, it's like, it's not like they haven't done this before, where they just sort of give us a random bit from some other franchise that, that we'll eventually sort of be getting to. But, I wish it had just been more Thunderbolts, like doing their fucking thing. Like, how about what's John Walker's wife up to at the end? Is he making any attempt there? Like, there are plot threads that this movie brings up that they maybe could have hinted at further. Or like you said, Mike, give us something from fucking that we don't know what's happening. Like, Doctor Strange is off in some other fucking universe with Charlize Theron right now. Like, what's been going on with that? There are so many things they could be checking us in on, instead of like, guess what's coming?
Right. And the next one, stay excited. Get your popcorn bucket money ready.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get, like, that's what, I mean, that's what I don't get. Like, why do we have to show the next movie? Like, literally, why do we have to go, like, like, because we know that the next movie is not, unless my assumption is wrong, the next movie.
We saw the trailer at the beginning.
I think the point of leading into the next movie, unless this is like with what happened with Avengers, which is the last time I could think of it actually mattering, that you had like like a thing where it's like, and we have the pager, and that goes right into Captain Marvel, the movie that has to explain what the pager is for, which ends up not even mattering in Endgame, but that's a completely different story. And she comes back for one scene in that movie that matters, but hey, whatever. I was at the end of the movie, I was just sitting there, I was like, Fantastic Four. And then you know what they did that spoiled it? Michael Giacchino's Fantastic Four First Steps theme. Right there in the credits. And it's like,
it was in the credits. I saw it too.
You fuckers. Like, it's right there. You spoiled it before you even spoiled it for the people that still don't know. Like, you gave even the people that didn't know an opportunity to be smart. Yeah. And it said it right there. And it's and the Fantastic Four theme is really good too. That's the problem. It's so good. It's like, now it's like, I recognized it hearing it. Like, because again, they play it right at the end of the movie. They're playing it over the credit as we lead into that. Yeah.
By the way, why Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now by Starship in the end credits? Was that used at all in the rest of the movie?
No, part of the wackiness of the Guardians that we need to replicate here, because that's what teams are. Teams are goofy. That's what they need to be.
Boy.
Each one needs a needle drop, like in Suicide Squad. Remember that? Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Red Guardian should have been the only comedic character in this movie.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why you make the essentially American government serial killer who just goes and kills people with wanted abandoned. Why you've allowed him to be a jokey character and then have him be just like a dad who's on his phone around his son, which is like, again, like what?
Yeah.
How terrible?
I didn't get that. Yeah. I was like, that's a pretty small complaint.
That's his. And he's,
back
by
to
the
him
way,
shooting the person in the middle of the street, like killing the like they literally reference in the dialogue of the movie.
No, he doesn't shoot a man in the middle of the street. He uses Captain America's shield to bludgeon a man to death.
Okay.
How about a flashback to that? I don't need to know that he wasn't paying attention to his child. By the way, clearly he's not paying attention to his child while all of that shit is going on. He's just been stripped of the title of Captain America. The entire world is considering him disgrace. I might be a little distracted too. It's not like his child burned themselves while he was fucking off and doing something. Right. It was the child is sitting next to him. The wife's in the next room, comes in and goes, hey, pay attention to the kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, well, that's like the least offensive thing. I mean, I was expecting her to smack her across the face or something. Like
something terrible.
Something awful. Yes, exactly. And yeah, when he was bludgeoning that guy with the shield in that show, that was probably the best moment of the show. When you get to see actual, like, oh wow, this is amazing. Rather than Sam Wilson just talking people down at the end of the movie. And I guess that's how the fucking movie ends, right? With Captain America 4, him talking down Red Hulk, trying to do it twice. And yeah, I met with a friend of mine for coffee recently, and the first thing out of his mouth is, why wasn't it Liv Tyler at the end of Hulk 4?
Still have no idea. If you're going to have her in the movie, why not have her in the movie? I still don't get it. And it's Marvel, just again, they go all the way up to the edge and they just don't commit. Why not? You guys have so much, you know what? You have so much money, you can afford to make a mistake. You know how I know? Jonathan Majors being recast and pivoting didn't cost them that much money. Quantum Mania was like the biggest failure they've had, but it still wasn't that big of a failure, ultimately. More critically, it was a failure than it was financially. Like, Marvel can afford to make mistakes. I don't even understand why they don't commit. If anyone can commit, Marvel can commit because they have the mouse money. They have the money to commit.
The crazy thing is, like, they announced they're doing Guardians of the Galaxy, and everyone's like, who? And what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, what do you think? We're just going to accept anything you throw our way? But then they actually gave us a good movie because those are good characters, and you can do that. You can have a team, and you can, do it that way. why they aren't, like you're saying, Chris, why they aren't just letting somebody like have a vision and go fucking with it. Because maybe it's because they're all too tied up now with all of the fucking mythology and everything has to fucking connect here and there and wherever. Like, I don't know. It hamstrings this movie. Like what you said, Mike, earlier, like about when this movie comes out on cable and whatever, like, yes, I'm definitely going to watch it again. I'll probably watch starting an hour in, though, because that's where the movie gets good. I'll definitely watch anything else where they've got an established team. The new Avengers, they want to do a new Avengers movie? Fuck yeah, I'm on board. But like that meandering bullshit of the first hour of this movie, like, I don't get it. And I don't get why they aren't more focused and more free, considering, like we've said, they're going to wipe everybody out anyway.
Yes. Yeah. I don't even, there's part of me that doesn't even think that the versions of the Fantastic Four that we have are going to end up being the versions of the Fantastic Four moving forward. There's a distinct, given that we've already seen two different Reed Richards, because now Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards number 2, because we've seen the Zoom meeting John Krasinski, Mr. Fantastic, which you can't convince me wasn't just done exteriorly from everything in that movie. I wouldn't be surprised.
And they can bring in Ewan Griffith from fucking from the original, like,
Exactly.
He's still around. Yeah, I think I'm not even sure Pedro Pascal and them make it past, Doomsday. I wouldn't be surprised if they get iced with the rest of the characters. Like that's why for me, yeah, to your point, Father Malone, like just give somebody free reign to do something after this. If this is what everything now has been leading to, and Endgame was just the halfway point, and you can somehow land the ship and make it seem like this was all leading to this, which, like, good luck, Russo brothers. Good luck. If you can land the ship and reset and hit that reset button hard and real hard, and on the other end of it, give some people some room to play with things, because now we have this pre-accepted mythology who everybody who's seen the MCU can watch from the beginning and then get to this point where things can start anew, but also as a new spot to bring new people in who don't have to see 35 goddamn movies and 35 TV shows worth of shit. Good. Because this is getting stale. It's getting old. And the multiverse of it all, like, you backed yourselves into a corner. This is your own goddamn fault. If you didn't want to do this, you should never have done it. But those 3 Spider-Man, that money was too good. It was too good to pass up that Spider-Man, the 3 Spider-Man in a movie money. It was too good to pass it up. That's what this stinks of still. They did the whole multiverse thing there, and then they were like, well, now we can do it everywhere. And they have not done anything with it since. That's the best use of the multiverse on top of everything else. And that's the first time they did it. The first time. And probably the second best time they're going to do it is in the next fucking Doomsday and maybe Fantastic Four. And you know what? There are a lot of movies in between that reference the multiverse or spend time talking about it. And I'm so ready for this to course correct in a meaningful way. I really am. Because like you said, there's something about these movies that I inherently enjoy, and I don't want them going anywhere. I don't. Like, I enjoy these movies way too much. Bring back Captain America. Bring back Chris Evans on the other side of this. You want to reboot it? Have him open his eyes at, and on the start of a new day or whatever the fuck. I don't know. You know what? I'll be there for that. But you gotta get us. That's a pretty tall, almost vertical cliff face to get up. And you know what? The Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr., I've seen those 2 Avengers movies, and they work way better than they have any right to. Now in retrospect, they really work a lot. But like those movies, if you've watched them recently, they have so many moving parts. Like, it works way better than these movies do, which have, if not as many moving parts, but more in a lot of ways. Yeah, I'm ready for this to be over and done with this timeline, and them to start with something fresh. And I hope that they actually take an opportunity to do that, because the Fantastic Four movie, whatever happens at the end of that movie, we can't unsee that. And this is the last recording before that. So,
Chris, everything that you just said, I completely agree with. I am so done with this timeline, and I just want everything to be over.
The darkest timeline.
Yes.
You're preaching to the choir,
timeline.
The dumbest timeline. God, my God. The timeline where all of the properties' rights are split between multiple different companies because the company that owned them was, unaware of how to do anything in film with them, while DC spent 30 years making movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad Marvel finally got their act together and made movies of quality and that we have the MCU. But yeah, I'm starting to sour on this, and they've not pulled up hard enough. And this is that opportunity from here on out. And I really was hoping Thunderbolts would go further because of what everybody knows is coming. I mean, we've seen like pre-production art for Doomsday and the movie afterward. I can't even explain what the fuck they're going for. Like, I don't even know. Like, how do you get to that point? So I'm on board. Just don't pretend like that's not what you're doing, because like everybody and their mother knows that that's what you're doing. And apparently
Benedict Cumberbatch isn't playing Khan. That's not Khan at all.
God. Right, right.
Why would you think that?
Right. John Walker, or whatever his character, forget what his character's name is in the something. So like, oh, why? Yeah.
Ghost makes it to the, or not Ghost, but Taskmaster makes it to the end of the film.
Yeah, wink, wink.
Yep. Gentlemen, any last thoughts, or are we just good to talk about what we're working on now? Let's do that. All right, Father Malone, what are you working on these days?
Oh, check out everything I do over at Midnight Viewing. HP, they are my co-host from Night Mr. Walters and Noise Junkies. He and I are currently involved in the Fusco Fest. We're looking at the works of John Fusco, screenwriter. We've already covered Crossroads and Young Guns 2. And by the time this comes out, our next episode this coming Friday is about Thunderheart, the Val Kilmer Native American FBI thriller from 92, I believe. Check me out over there.
I saw that at the theater.
Me too.
Yeah. And Chris, how about yourself?
WeirdingWayMedia.com is where you can find all the things that I work on or promote. Like Father Malone said, his show Midnight Viewing, you can find that over there. You can find Mike's show, The Projection Booth, over there. You can find Sharon and Susan's show, 80s TV Ladies, over there as well. God, I've twisted and uncorked that. Father Malone mentioned HP's Noise Junkies, which is now HP's Noise Junkies. Yeah, you can find all that at Weirding Way Media and patreon.com/Kulturecast, Projection Booth, and Father Malone, because, if you like what we do and you think that it adds some value to your life, kick a couple dollars our way. If not, just like, rate, and review anything that you interact with on whatever platform you get it on. Podcast, preferably Apple.
And yeah, I have nothing to add. I'm not going to do my usual spiel.
Hello, this is Chris Haskell from They Live by Film. For those that don't know us, Adam, Zach, and we built a podcast over the last 2 years that's a combination of film discussion from 3 very different perspectives, as well as industry interviews with the leaders in boutique Blu-ray and 4K community. We started with Dev Crocodile, but over time we've been lucky enough to speak with Arrow Video, Severin, Mondo Macabro, Vinegar Syndrome, Radiance, Indicator, most of the OCN partner labels. It's been a blast. You can find us wherever you podcast, and also actually recently as part of Someone's Favorite Production Podcast Network. We hope to see you online.